Okay, so shalom and namaste. Welcome to the special live webinar on the occasion of launch of the official logo to mark the 30th anniversary of the establishment of full diplomatic relations between India and Israel. Today we have with us their excellencies, Ambassador of Israel to India, His Excellency Naor Gilon, and Ambassador of India to Israel, His Excellency Sanjeev Singla. And of course, we have with us other senior diplomats from both countries joining us on this special event. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. If we think about it, the relationship between India and Israel has always been that of a historical connections of two Asian civilizations and the close friendship of two proud nations. But since the establishment of full diplomatic relations in 1992, the bilateral ties have continuously grown and evolved to new heights, extending to a broad spectrum of areas and translated to what we, the researchers, like to call strategic partnership that actually benefits both economies. Over the last 30 years, I think we can say we have built a stable relationship based on mutual trust, understanding, cooperation, and of course, development. But to mark this significant milestone and the beginning of a year-long activities celebrating and commemorating the bilateral achievements, the Embassy of India in Israel and the Embassy of Israel in India had launched a logo design contest last year for students of prominent design school college in Israel and in India. Entries were invited from the Gilon Institute of Technology in Israel and from the National Institute of Design in India. And I've heard that many Israeli and Indian students participated in this contest. So this is a great opportunity to say thank you to all of you. But without much ado, let's move to the most awaited part of this event, the release of the logo. I now request His Excellency Ambassador Singla and His Excellency Ambassador Gilon to virtually unveil the logo. The winning design created by an Indian student, Mr. Nikhil Kumar Rai, and it was chosen through a joint decision of the embassies and the consulate from both countries. It was selected as the official logo for the 30th anniversary of Israel-India diplomatic relations. As you can see, the logo features the Star of David and the Ashoka Chakra. Ambassador Gilon, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be in this event, especially with my colleague and friend, Ambassador Singla. I think that we can both feel lucky to be ambassadors in a period that the relations between India and Israel are really exceptional. As was said here, we are celebrating 30 years to what officially is called a strategic partnership, but it is not only by name, also by action. As External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar in his visit last year, October, to Israel, said that the relations between Israel and India are beyond regular relations between countries. It's a partnership between ancient civilizations. Jews have lived for over 2,000 years in India in total equality and peacefully. And as someone who arrived after serving quite extensive periods in Europe, I was very much surprised to see how much love and appreciation there is in India towards Israel. And there is another element. There is no anti-Semitism in India. This phrase just doesn't exist. But also in modern times, the relations did not start only 30 years ago. As I learned from Ambassador Singla and when we went together with Jai Shankar to see some places commemorating more than 900 Indian soldiers buried in the land of Israel, those who fought during First World War as part of the Indian British Army to liberate this area that later became Israel. I recently also visited the shed, as it's called, of Ben Gurion in Sde Boker in the Negev, and saw in his bedroom the picture of Gandhi, It is known that Ben-Gurion saw Gandhi in India, as a sister liberation movement. Israel and India enjoy really vast cooperations in a lot of fields, economically, agriculture, water, security, innovation, health, tourism, education, culture, and more. And we thought that it will be right to start these 30 years of full diplomatic relation events with a logo, as we did here. And next year, we are hoping to increase our activity in the coming year. And hopefully we will have a visit of Prime Minister Bennett here and other Israeli senior officials. So bottom line is, we don't see this only as a summary of 30 years, but also the starting point for activity, bigger activity, more activity for the next 30 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Gilon, for sharing your insight. Now I want to invite Ambassador of India, His Excellency Sanjeev Singla, to speak about 30 years of Israel-India growing partnership and the future ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Oshrit. Namaste and shalom from Israel. My friend, Ambassador Naor Gilon, and other colleagues. I'm really happy to join today at this event for the inauguration of India-Israel 30 years of full diplomatic relations, the logo for it. Despite having to do this event virtually, I congratulate the teams for going all out and arranging it. I'm equally delighted about the contribution of a young Indian designer from the National Institute of Design, Nikhil Rai, who has designed this logo. Celebrating the milestone of 30 years of full diplomatic relations gives us an opportunity to appreciate the efforts of our leaders, our diplomats, thinkers, strategists, all the people who've led our partnership and continue to nurture this very important strategic partnership. Our two peoples, as Naor has mentioned, are connected by civilizational bonds that go beyond trade and economic ties. The Jewish people have thrived in India for centuries and, in fact, enriched the composite culture of India. Just to illustrate the point briefly, since the International Holocaust Remembrance Day is coming up later this week, 3 days from now, during the Second World War, Maharaja Jam Sahib of Navanagar not only saved lives of several Jewish children by providing them shelter, but also took care of them for as long as they chose to be under his guardianship. With a large Indian Jewish community in Israel now, this community forms an organic link, bridge which continues to grow with shared traditions, cultural practices, and friendship. And I think our moderator, Dr. Oshrit Birvadker, is a fine example of that. She's a strategic analyst in her own right. 2022 also marks 5 years of bilateral strategic partnership, which was established during the historic visit of Prime Minister Modi to Israel. The year 2022, therefore, provides us an opportunity to not only look back and take account of the bilateral achievements of the past 30 years, but also the past 5 years when the relationship was put on a qualitatively higher trajectory. But then, as again Naor mentioned, it's not merely a time to look back, but also to look ahead. So for the last 5 years, there's been a clear thrust on tapping our strengths as two knowledge economies. Its immediate manifestation has been our cooperation during COVID, but now we are looking ahead towards deeper collaboration in innovation, in AI, quantum computing. It's a subject matter which came up for emphasis when our two prime ministers met in Glasgow about 3 months back, and during the visit of our external affairs minister to Israel about 4 months back. So we are looking forward to the programs on January 29th, which is the exact day when our full diplomatic relations were established 30 years ago. And we look forward to year-long celebrations of this important milestone. Thank you. Toda Rabba.
Thank you, Ambassador Singla. So now I want to invite the creator of the logo, Mr. Nikhil Kumar Rai, to share his inspiration and experience behind designing this beautiful and, if I may say, very unique logo. Hello, Nikhil. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you, Oshrit. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I am Nikhil Kumar Rai, a designer and artist with 3+ years of experience and proficient in multiple media, including pen, ink, oil, acrylic, and digital media. I was born and brought up in the holy city of Varanasi, from where I completed my initial college from Faculty of Visual Arts in Applied Arts from Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. And currently I am a final year student at National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad. First of all, I am very grateful to the judges and the organizing committee to select my design and giving me this opportunity. Now let me briefly explain my thinking and design process behind the logo design. Before starting the design, I have finalized 3 main characteristics for my logo design, which are: first, simple. I wanted the design to be simple and bold with minimal design element with a modern feel. Second, I wanted a design that would connect audience from both countries. Third, scalable. The design need to be scalable to support different users purposes. Based on 3 characteristics, I took the star from Israel national flag and Ashok Chakra from Indian national flag as the main design element to make the logo memorable and easily recognizable for citizens. By choosing the element from the national flag, I try to show that my design reflects our rich history as well as the 2 countries' modern, innovative, and forward-looking friendships. The color used in the logo are also inspired by the national flag of both countries. The logo also can be produced in black and white and easy to use, handle, resize, manipulate for all reproduction purposes like visiting cards, letterhead, magazine, website. I hope you like my designs and thinking behind it. Thank you. Over to you, Oshrit.
All right. So thank you, Nikhil. With this, we reached the end of this wonderful event and the beginning of a year-long festivities marking the 30th anniversary of establishment of full diplomatic relations between India and Israel. Thank you, Ambassador Singla, and thank you, Ambassador Gilon, for gracing this event. And like 2 old friends, India and Israel have always stood by each other and will continue to do so. So, תודה רבה לכולם, וברכות בנבד. Bye. Namaste.